Talk Live, ladies and gentlemen. As I mute my volume here, there we go, bang, finally. And we are back and we are live here, ladies and gentlemen, as I get my camera focused on me. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Talk Live, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, E-Rock, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back and live, and we are sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTLK.com. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and the fall/winter line is out now. This is vintage Duntalk, so again, get your hands on it for the Black Friday sales and the Christmas bargains that are available to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and I'm here on YouTube and I'm here on Instagram. As we get into this, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we had the controversy regarding my good friend, Mr. Jonathan Majors. Indeed, his name escaped me for a second. Jonathan Majors and his crap he had to deal with Grace Jabari, and his acting career that was surreptitiously ended simply because of a woman's say so and how Me Too has run amok. But again, we're on to another subject, ladies and gentlemen, and that is another woman here, another star who may prove another trend to be right that has been years in the making. Sorry, I had a hangnail here. Yeah, so that was years to be in the making. However, Skai Jackson, the Disney Channel starlet, is in a bit of a bother, and she's showing a rather disturbing trend. I wouldn't say, it is a disturbing trend. How a woman with such success, and her pick of men as she is in the prime of life she's only 22 years old, ladies and gentlemen, 22 years old. However, she is clearly in the hoe phase, for lack of a better word. She's in the hoe phase, and she's showing it, quite simply. She is showing it in this spectacular way, and we're going to do a work on that tonight on Talk Live, ladies and gentlemen, live on IG and YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me, and to new members, thank you very much for, I see you out there, thank you for joining me as well. So let's get into it right away. We ain't going to waste any time. Let's get to the browser, let's get to the full cam here. All right, bang and bang, thank you, bang. Hello, it's I, Mitziel, thank you very much. Hello indeed, hello to you. Hello. Is it I or L? It's I, yes it is, it's I, Mitziel. Matizzle. Got it. I got it. I did get it. It's Matizzle. Got it. So thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Let's get into this right here. Let's get into the controversy of Skai Jackson. Skai Jackson, as I was saying, very talented woman, a Disney kid. But you know what is up with these Disney kids? Usually something is either terribly right with them or terribly wrong with them. As you see, Justin Timberlake, former Disney kid himself, massively successful, is Imtisal. There you go. Imtisal. Got it. I got it. I got the pronunciation. Very nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Imtisal. So either they're terribly right or terribly wrong in that circumstance, and there we go. In this circumstance, things went terribly wrong, as in the case of Britney Spears, ladies and gentlemen. Britney Spears, probably the most successful Disney kid next to Justin Timberlake. However, with regards to Britney Spears, there is clearly something not right up there, and she has had to be given governorship by her father, and she's slowly getting her career back together, even though she's been massively successful. The fact of the matter is that she has been faced with a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of setbacks, and unfortunately she is getting her life together, and I wish her the best, and that is nothing to be made fun of. However, we have Skai Jackson here. Skai Jackson is another run of these Disney kids that seem to have lost their way, quite simply, and but not in a way in which she's the harbinger of her own demise, as they say. and she has managed to well, have an interesting dating history. And until right now, I manage an artist in my country. He makes great songs. I am listening to you and learning personal branding. Oh, right. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Fantastic. Great to know. And I appreciate you coming on air here, Imtisal. And thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. I appreciate that. And you're coming from what country is that? I'd love to know. I'd love to know, Imtisal. Thank you very much. And so Sky Jackson um, has baby daddy issues. Something that should not be in this respect, because as a Disney kid, she's wildly successful. She should be looking for a man of a top tier who will give her everything that she needs. But no, she falls victim to the black woman complex, especially at her age of 22. Pakistan. Oh, thank you very much from Pakistan. Oh, wow. Brilliant, brilliant to see. So again, I appreciate you joining in on Talk Talk Live. But let me continue. Thank you very much, Imtisal. Um, so with that, Sky Jackson has managed to hook up with a baby daddy. Um, he is part of the baby daddy drama, and this man is not exactly of a top tier to say the least. However, he has height, and that's all you need in this space, ladies and gentlemen. All you need is a bit of height with these black women, and a bit of street cred, and you're in, as is proven to be the case here. So let's just find out about her history, Sky Jackson, Disney kid extraordinaire, who's managed to get hooked up in baby daddy drama with a man who's not exactly the best and most reputable man in the world. With this video from The Voice, the voice for Dappy Reacts. The voice for Dappy Reacts. Yes, it is what it is, and I hope you like and subscribe to him because he's doing wonderful things in YouTube streets, doing great work. But again, let's get into this with Sky Jackson. And this video, Sky Jackson exposed by Baby Daddy Kai Cenat reacts to Sky Prego Neek accused of being messy. Lena, I kid you not, that is let me first get into this one here. We'll get into that second one, but first we'll get into Urban Noir. I think this is a more straightforward look at her past. Sky Jackson breaks down after she gets pregnant for a hood scammer. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that first as we get into this on Talk Talk Live. Thank you very much for joining me.
Battery 100%.
And we're ready to go here.
Child, somebody better call Jessie to come get Zuri. Because she just succeeded in getting herself pregnant by a scammer, and folks is not here for it. Yeah, y'all heard that right. Sky Jackson was not playing around when she showed us her man, because she definitely allowed that man to knock her up. Now she out here having meltdowns in public because she regrets getting pregnant by him. It was rumored a few months ago that she was pregnant after a blind item came out to spill this tea, but Sky denied it, and she had us all thinking the blind item was lying. Come to find out, she's 100% pregnant by this man, and he a whole criminal. What's even more messy about this is
Yes, let's just stop that right there. It's yeah, she's knocked up by by not the best among us, a scammer, a criminal, a man of little confident, intelligent assertiveness of himself, and quite simply a hood Negro, unfortunately. Now, nothing wrong with that, to be fair. I mean, that's the choice of man, that's the choice of man, but it's showing a tendency, and we're going to get into that a little later, but let's continue with this story right now. Let's continue with Sky Jackson's past and present.
Just a few months ago, Somebody called the cops on Skai and her man after they saw her physically attacking him in public over an argument they was having. Child, there is a lot to get into here, so let's get right into it and sip on this tea. Now, some of y'all might not know this, but right from the minute that Skai had teased her boyfriend, a lot of people knew he was trouble. First, she was hiding this man's face every single time she posted him, but people got into their little detective bag and found out who he was by using the tattoos on his arms. And they found out that the guy was a whole scammer and heavily involved in money laundering too. Immediately after they pulled all this up, he deactivated his IG and deleted all his social media. Around this time, Skai was also exposed by a blind item for allegedly being a yacht girl. And worst part about it is that she's allegedly been doing this since she was 16. According to the blind item, Skai has been broke for years now and has been jumping from one credit card to another to stay afloat. She's been looking for someone to...
So, ladies and gentlemen, she's not only one who's attracted to the hood among us. She is also one who's fallen on bad times in terms of her career, and she's turned to credit card usage and vast amounts of credit card usage in order to keep up her lifestyle, which is another issue among the the famous among us, and should I say the hood famous among us, which is not exactly the most responsible of things to do. But she chooses to do it just in order to keep up appearances. And, well, it never goes well at the end of the day. Let's continue.
Sponsor her lifestyle, and this new alleged scammer boyfriend has been doing that for her. This former Disney actress, who was passed around before she was old enough to drive, is now dating a dealer who has his hands in everything. This won't turn out well. Skai Jackson. Not only that, but it also turns out that this ain't the first time these yacht girl allegations had come up. Apparently, her parents got her into it when she was just 15 years old because they knew that would be the time she'd make the most money, since a lot of men who patronize these efforts are willing to pay big bucks for young, naive girls.
So... Not only is she using credit card, she's dabbling in credit card usage in order to get her ahead. But she's also a yacht girl. Now, if you're not familiar with yacht women are women who are indeed a part of a network in which, if there are any parties in the Miami area or in the Los Angeles area or in the Los Angeles Malibu area, they tend to, or even in the New York area, they tend to, sort of like a call girl, sort of, escort sort of service where if you need a yacht to be populated, you can, select these girls and they'll come on your, they can come on your yachts and make it a more lively occasion. So again, it's, sorry, just a second. 1 second, please. Yeah, we're good. So again, it's an issue that seems to have that seems to plague her as well. Not only is she linked up to a hood rat, as it were, but a hood man. I'll call him a hood man. Not only that, but she is also involved in credit card fraud, and also add to that, she's a yacht girl to which her parents have put her in place in order to help advance her career. You can't make this stuff up. Let's continue.
There have been some actors and actresses in the past few years that couldn't wait until they reached 18 to hook up with certain people in the industry. Here are a few. This former Disney actress was already yachting by the time she hit 15. Her family knew this is when she would make the most bucks. Their plan was to save it, but they spent it as fast as they came in. Skai Jackson. As if that wasn't bad enough, she was in the news again not too long after this, when another source came out to accuse her of allegedly being in cahoots with her man in money laundering. This former Disney actress is being investigated for money laundering and Skai Jackson. Oh, but it don't stop there, because just a few months ago, she was right back in the headlines for all the wrong reasons when she broke that both she and her boyfriend had got arrested at Universal Studios after a police officer caught her getting physical with him in public. According to sources who spoke with TMZ, deputies were called to Universal City Walk after security spotted Jackson and her boyfriend getting into it, and the actress allegedly pushed him more than once. Jackson and her boyfriend both denied anything got physical. To the contrary, she said they were happily engaged and expecting a baby together. Deputies say they reviewed video footage and saw she pushed him. Jackson was arrested for misdemeanor domestic battery, cited, and released a few hours later.
So she, as is the want of many a woman, especially a black woman, when they get angry, they're liable to lay hands on you. They're liable to assault you and encroach on your personal space. Yes, indeed. It is sad what has happened to Sky. It is really sad. But this is again sort of the way of the black woman, especially of her age, who's had a good amount of success at a very young age. She's liable to be very, very, how should I say, very loose with her choices, bad with her choices, and also tend to be violent when necessary. As she's not in control of her emotions, unfortunately, and we are here left to pick up the pieces. Let me see if there are any comments there on the YouTubiest of spaces. No, we are good to go here. Yes, indeed. But let's continue with this. This is fascinating stuff. If you're not familiar with this, thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG, YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's continue with the story. The Skai Jackson story, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, comment if you can, please, and thank you. And comment down below about how you feel about this unfortunate circumstance.
Already knew that her and this man's relationship was not in a good place. But this right here was a confirmation of that. No healthy couple is randomly fighting out in the open, especially when they engage expecting a whole child in a few months. At the time, we didn't understand how bad the situation really was until recently when photos leaked of her walking around with a baby bump. This was a shock to a lot of people because they were in denial about her even being pregnant until they saw these photos. She was trying so hard to hide the baby bump by wearing oversized clothes, but it was still clear as day she's heavily pregnant. But see, it isn't the fact that she was pregnant that's pissing people off. People felt disappointed that she even allowed this man to impregnate her, knowing the kind of person he is. In fact, there were also photos going around of Skai and him having an argument, and she looked visibly upset. You could just tell from the photos that she was already regretting getting pregnant by him, and mad at herself for even giving him a chance.
But here's the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen. Hood is as hood does. And you can take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl. As you can clearly see here, she has chosen to dress herself in a sort of, how shall I say, house chic sort of way, with her cap on her head and very, very casual clothing, to be fair, and you know, having a chat with her hood boyfriend, unfortunately. But you know, you could try to you can have a woman succeed and you know, ascend to certain heights within the entertainment industry. However, you know, certain mannerisms, certain ways in which you carry yourself will not leave, unfortunately. That's what we call the hood mentality, unfortunately. And Skai Jackson has not left this, and she has chosen to go down a path of, well, near misery, near just debauchery, quite simply, and it is hoped that she can pull herself out of this. But we have a comment here from Lana that says, Sounds like her parents pimped her out. Yes, indeed, which is an unfortunate academic globally, as she has untreated trauma she needs to work through. Disney and her parents did her dirty. Yes, they did. I would say yes. However, Disney did give her a chance at success. They did give her a chance to make a name for herself, and she became quite popular from it. However, did she use it as a spring? I mean, it could be either a stumbling block or a stepping stone, and clearly she used it as a stumbling block because she is in a world of hurt. But then this is thematic of a greater problem that faces Black women every single day and every single generation, especially in the Western world. And we'll get into it in just a bit. But thank you very much for the comment line, BK. Let's continue.
It's unclear what the argument they were having was about, but she was crying and genuinely looked annoyed at whatever that man had to say. Child, as usual, people had their own thoughts about this. Like this person who said, to see Skai walking around in a bonnet with Pookie by her side arguing as a Disney star? Wow, talk about the fall from grace to grass. Wow, I can't believe Skai having a baby. She about to be stressed out, shaking my head. Ladies, stop having kids by these men if there's already red flags flying. If y'all arguing on the regular and not having a good positive relationship, traveling, making plans for the future, then let it go. Another person said, I've never seen her in a bonnet, not even inside her house while she vlogs. And they were arguing outside again. That man is sucking her energy out. But
okay, here's the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll go back to that comment here made by this young lady. Let's go back. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That man is sucking her energy out. The fact of the matter is, she invited this man into her home. She invited this man into her life. She allowed this man to impregnate her. There's a lot of missteps this woman made for a man to suck her energy out. No, it's not that at all. What it is a woman falling back to what she knows. And it's not only an unfortunate epidemic globally. I think it's an unfortunate epidemic when it comes to Black women in particular, because there's an unfortunate paradox we will explain. Well, I might as well explain right now. See, here's the thing unfortunately, about a good amount of Black women. Not saying all, but a good amount. You have Black women who try to swirl, but they realize the swirling leads to fetishization from other races. And when it comes to finding a good Black man with good morals, good values, good amount of and even with a good amount of income coming in, he's found as corny. So she's not exactly a top target. However, they have this attraction to bad boys and hood rats and Pookies and Ray Rays, unfortunately. And that is, especially when they're young, the lane they fit into. And not many, if any, other race of women, except for the westernized Black woman, does this ever fall into category with. You will never find a woman of a certain, well, again, see Britney Spears, Kevin Federline, I'll give you that one, where, I don't know what it is with Disney kids. Anyways, but this is for the most part with a lot of Black women, unfortunately. They tend to fall in love with the Pookie, the Ray Ray, the hood rat, the man with a bit of street cred about them. And again, it's very, very troubling, very, very problematic, and somewhere that they don't need to be, but they want to be. And it's a showing of upbringing, indeed, but also of choices these women such as Skai Jackson make, which are totally detrimental to their futures. But again, this is where they want to be. They want to have the sort of dread of being involved with someone who may be a scammer, who may be a criminal, who has that sort of element to them. It seems to excite them. But again, with women being emotional creatures. This should not be a surprise. We have a comment here from Lana BK. Parents sexually exploiting their children is a global epidemic. Bonnet wearing outside the house is in poor taste, but definitely not the same level as sex trafficking. Well, that is a huge accusation to levy against this family, is the fact that they are engaged in sex trafficking into some sort of RICO case. But again, is it out of the question? Not exactly. We see it happen in the world every day. It's called, for lack of a better word, being a part of. Let me get this right. Being a part of, arranged marriage culture and dowry. And dowry making is seen throughout the world every day, but it's not really spoken of. But it's pretty much parents pimping out their children in order to make a better life for their children and for themselves. And this is a tale as old as time. It's just this is a new age of said arrangement. Let's continue with this. Except this one backfired because where arranged marriages tend to want to see that child having a better life, this arrangement has put her in a worse state, to be fair. Let's continue. Yeah, this is going a bit longer than necessary, unfortunately. Hold on. Why is that going on?
Her energy out. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about?
Okay, that was the end of the video anyway, so that's fantastic. Let's go on to another video of her past here, the one that I aforementioned. Skai Jackson exposed by baby daddy Kai Cenat. Exposed by baby daddy Kai Cenat reacts to Skai Prego Neek accused of being messy. Okay, well, I don't know about the other part. But let's get into the Skai Jackson portion right now, and then we're going to get into the epidemic that plagues black women in and of itself. Let's continue.
Skai Jackson announced that she is indeed pregnant, but her baby father was the one going viral. After Skai's announcement with People's Magazine, her baby father posted to Facebook. Allegedly, he said, "I'm salty. I got this dumbass Disney Channel be pregnant. I hate this hoe." And then right after allegedly the baby father posted that on Facebook, he went live and said this.
I'm single. I can do whatever I want. Baby girl, you ain't know I'm good for domestic. On life, we'll both go to jail. Beating on. Smile in my mugshot.
People in the comments of his live was asking him about his Facebook post, and he said he could say whatever he wants. Then people were mentioning Skai Jackson's DV case that she had early this year for putting hands on him in the amusement park, and he's making it known because he obviously felt some type of way when somebody mentioned it, that he's the only one that would get a DV case if it got that real. Now, Skai Jackson, be careful, because I don't know who boasts about stuff like this, but he might be right, because there's a viral video of him with prison gear on, with handcuffs going into lockup. And allegedly, there's rumors that Skai Jackson met him while he was in lockup. She reached out to him, they started talking, and they made it official when he got out of lockup. And on top of that, allegedly, he got 3 other kids by 3 other women, allegedly. But Skai Jackson did defend his Facebook post. She said his page was hacked. He never said this. End of story. This Skai Jackson's mom came in. She also defended the baby daddy. She said he never said this. Stop being messy. Now, someone said in the comments, no one knows him to be hacking his page. Girl, the way you be looking so stressed out when you around him, I believe he said it for real. Y'all leave our comments down below. Let me know what y'all thinking when it comes to that. Congratulations again to Skai Jackson. Here's Kai Cenat's reaction to finding out Skai Jackson is pregnant.
Skai Jackson. Bitch. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, there is. I mean, you can congratulate Skai Jackson, but I'm sure she wouldn't congratulate the fact that she got pregnant with a would-be criminal type who has already, allegedly, 3 other baby mamas. You could not make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. No other race of woman, I repeat, no other race of woman would get themselves involved with a criminal type who doubts his validity as a father, and who have made 3 other babies on the side, ladies and gentlemen. We have a comment from Lana BK. You mentioned she's an underage yacht girl at 15. Yes, indeed, but that's hood parenting 101. You're going to try and make the most out of your young baby's youth and experience because they wanted her exposed to high rollers, to would-be entertainment executives, lawyers, etc., who may be able to put her on to bigger and better things. And Lord knows she did. Well, she was a Disney kid, but she wanted her to be involved in other roles, and clearly her career was sagging at that time. But it is a sad state of affairs indeed. But again, back to it. For you to be announced as pregnant by this gentleman is not exactly the best of looks. But let us be clear: this is not new. This is a archetypical stands by a lot of black women out there, and we'll get into it in a little bit of time. Let's continue with this.
This video of Nick is going viral. A lot of people upset that Nick answered when Jameson and Kiana J asked this.
Would you beat your baby daddy, baby mama?
It's what happened.
You like, do you feel like you can beat her?
Like, do I feel like I can beat? I feel like I can beat anybody. Like, what, is that what that like? I mean, answer?
Do you feel like you can be like
That's okay.
Yeah.
Shit, you nasty bitch. And I'm not taking no shots. And yeah, I feel like I can beat anybody. That's right. Tell you.
you can go to the other kid?
Girl, no.
Okay, this is, I think, going into another story. Let's see. Yes, I think this is it.
Was to be asked this, and she responded the same way Nick did.
I think we're going to end it there, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, because I think this is going into another rumor, innuendo story. But let's get into the heart of the matter. Let's get out of here. Thank you very much to the voice for Dappy. Subscribe to her because she's doing wonderful things in YouTube streets. Let me just say that. But again, let's get back into the main part of our story, ladies and gentlemen. And that is from Medium Man, doing great things in his YouTube streets. It should be watched much, much more. But again, he focuses on issues that matter and not that don't, which include the celebrity. And that's why I tie the celebrity into this, because this is not just emblematic. That's the right tense of word. In the right choice of word. This is not emblematic of necessarily, stars in and of itself. This is emblematic of black women in general. As is seen here by the video, black women proved that Skai Jackson's situation was a choice and not a mistake. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to King Onan as we get into this on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get into this one, ladies and gentlemen, with my man, Medium Man.
Is referring back to that conversation that Dr. Umar had on the Daily Wrap-Up Crew, when he was saying that it was black men's fault in particular that black women have a poor selection of black males to choose from, black men to choose from.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate.
One of the guys, I think Eli, he was saying that, well, they choose those type of men.
A bunch of lies by Umar Johnson. That's why I said I never wanted to go to his appearance here in Toronto. Lord knows he's spread enough lies to make the world go round. Let's continue.
To be with. Dr. Umar corrected him and said no, because that's the only type of men they have to choose from. So he don't see guys like myself. He don't see guys like you all in the chat. All he sees is black men that are the quote-unquote Pookies and Ray Rays, and that's the only type of men that black women that black women have to choose from. But when I did that response video, I showed proof that black women choose those men willingly.
I'm not sure why everybody's so shocked at Skai Jackson and the fact that she chose to have a baby by a YN. Where did y'all think that Nunu character came from? Y'all think that Nunu just came out of thin air? No. There are plenty black girls who never got the quote-unquote black girl experience, the hood experience, the YN experience, whatever they want to call it. I'm here to tell you, if you a put up young lady or your parents take care of you or you've never seen struggle, there's nothing to go look for. You don't need to experience struggle. You can be...
An excellent point made by the young lady. If you are a young lady who's never seen struggle, why go search for it? Why go looking for trouble in the daytime with a flashlight? Why indeed? This woman, well, I said she was not exactly raised in the best of surroundings, but it turns out, let's say she is. Why indeed are you looking after a man from the streets, a Pookie, a Ray Ray, in order for him to be your baby's father and the future of your family? It makes absolutely no sense to me, and this is not just a problem emblematic of Skai Jackson, but of most black women. As we see here, black women and men aged 50 to 49 who have had a biological child. 46% of black women, 46% of black men, 61% of black women. Black men and women aged 40 to 49 who've had a biological child in their lifetime. More black women have biological children in their lifetime. Black fathers and mothers who've lived with their parents at the child's birth. 60% of black women. Get this, 41% of black women. That means when a black woman has a child, chances are there's not a black male in the home. But when a black man has a child, he tends to be in the home. Make that make sense. And finally, black men are more likely to have no kids. Black men are more likely to have no kids. Black women are more likely to have 2 or more. Yeah, I'm about to break that down on Talk Live in just a bit with regards to that issue. But I thought I'd break it down here because this is an epidemic, ladies and gentlemen. And not only that, they're having these babies with a certain type of man. As long as you are, I wouldn't say the rule of 6. I would say you only need 1 6, and that is of a certain height. Because this man that we're referring to in this video, he tends to be on the taller side, and these women just fall all over themselves for these men, despite wherever they find them. If they find them in jail, so be it. That is the epidemic. That is the problem that these black women face every single day. And it seems, as I said, as they look up, their panties fall. That's why I always said about black women. Let's continue with this.
A well-mannered suburban girl who doesn't know anything about the streets. The streets don't love nobody, and you're not going to find love in the streets. So I really feel a little bit sorry for Skai Jackson because she fell for the bait. She's a typical suburban girl. Like, they want to see what the hood...
No, she isn't. She's a typical black woman, unfortunately. A lot of these black women fall for the bait. They fall for the hood bait. They need that street cred. They need that danger. They need that dark energy for somehow to function. And if they don't have it in their life, they will go out and find it. And that's why I say black women may indeed be cursed in the dating market. Because the good guys that they should be looking for, they don't want because they're too corny. If they swirl, they're only going to be fetishized at the end of the day, chances are. And so it only leaves one avenue for them. The one choice that they have unto themselves, and that is Pookies and Ray Rays. Let's continue.
Got going on.
Someone's asking, why are all these successful black women baby moms? Or even worse, baby moms to bums. I don't understand why this is so puzzling. They believe that's what love looks like. The thing is, collectively, Black women get in relationships for the feeling of love, not necessarily for actual love or security or support. Now, why do I say it's not actual love? Because if it was, the support and security would come with it. Listen, chemistry is important, okay? You have to be able to be attracted to the person that you're with. But there are so many other things that are equally or more important than that. And I really want Black women to get into the mindset of having boundaries, standards, and expectations. Stop relying on your feelings so you don't end up in situations like this.
Fantastic words from that young lady there, and I couldn't have put it better myself. They fall for the feels more than the reals, more so than any other woman out there. You wouldn't catch most white women in this situation. You wouldn't count, well, you could count a few Hispanic women. I'll give you that one. You could count them. But Indian women, you wouldn't find that for love nor money anywhere near that one. Or any Asian women. You would not find that. You wouldn't find that. You would only find that potentially with Hispanic women, but not necessarily, but definitely with Black women. Definitely. It is their own affliction. It is their own curse. It is their own cross to bear. And it's needless, it's pointless, and I don't understand it. They just want to be around men with drama. Listen, you want them to be this corporate hood. This man with street cred, yet who can handle it in the white collar world. And listen, the two don't go together. They literally don't go together. You're never going to get a guy in the white collar world, even in the blue collar world, who has, well, I would say more or less blue collar, yes, but definitely in the white collar world, who has been affiliated with street culture. It doesn't happen. I can tell you that. It doesn't happen. And if you're able to do that, it's a rare person indeed. Not calling out any names. But anyways, it is very difficult for you to traverse both ends of things. And it seems that's what Black women want. When it's needless to have it. It's needless point to have. Now, again, this is not all Black women. Let me say that. But there's a good amount of them who do. Including one named Skai Jackson. And she just exposes the true nature of a lot of Black women is that they need that danger, that dread, that Pookie, that Ray, that hood mentality around them in order for them to feel alive. And again, it's all about the feels and not about the reals, ladies and gentlemen, and that leads them into big time trouble. Let's continue. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's continue with this.
Nobody ever talks about this, but they choose those types of guys because they think they can get in, get what they can from this guy, and get out. But what tends to happen, they end up getting pregnant with this man's baby, or they end up something more heinous that happens to them when they're with these less than guys.
Including credit card fraud and any sort of criminal activity. No. Takes one to know one, right?
That are tainting the Black male ethnic image. So this video, this young lady decided to confirm everything that we've been saying. And they use a child celebrity. Well, she's not a child anymore. The young lady Skai Jackson as an example. Listen to what she says. And I want everybody in the Black community to watch this video. Don't ever fix your mouth to say that Black women don't have a choice of men to choose from, good men or bad men. They are willingly choosing the worst of the worst because they are attracted to that.
I got pregnant by a man who, if not most of us, some of us have experienced, which is a hood nigga with nothing to lose but everything to give. And if you know what I mean,
I would say gain. I wouldn't say give. They're not giving you anything. They're literally giving you trouble, dread, criminal activity. She got the analogy wrong. But anyways, let's continue.
I mean, something about them screws being loose up here, they just give it all to you. And it just be the best until it becomes the worst. And you got to leave their ass. But you got to leave before you get pregnant. And that's the step that Skai Jackson skipped. She didn't leave before she got pregnant. And that.
So the disclaimer that this young lady is, basically putting out there is like, yes, we're choosing to mess with these guys, but we have stipulations. We supposed to get out before we get pregnant. She's not saying they're avoiding those guys. She's saying that yes, we like those hood dudes because it's fun, but we try and get out before we get pregnant. But that rarely happens. I just put out the statistics of when black women get pregnant, young. I'm gonna just let y'all know right now. This is where this conversation of black men having all these children while they're young, it ends here. Because I'm going to show y'all a figure, and it's going to shock you. And
let me say this for the cheap seats, ladies and gentlemen. This is a stunning statistic, and I'm so glad this was woven into this subject matter here. Because this will shock you. This will shock you, especially black women and of us who think they're, better than, unfortunately. But it's the truth. Listen to this.
And it's rather embarrassing for the black community and for our younger women, but it needs to be said. Black or African American, single race, black women under the age of 20. This is the percentage of black women under the age of 20 that have children. 42.2% of black women had children between 2015 and 2019 under the age of 20. 42% right there. Between 20 to 24.
That's under 20 years old. Under 20 years old, nearly half of black women within the 2015 to 2019 census had children. Nearly half of black women in the United States under 20, which is very emblematic of the Western world, had children under 20. Let us continue.
You get 34.9%. 77.1%. 77% for black women age at
Let me run that back.
birth.
Let me run that statistic back because you may not have caught it.
Of black women had children between 2015 and 2019 under the age of 20. 42% right there. Between 20 to 24, you get 34.9%. 77.1%. 77% for black women age at first child's birth under the age of 20 to 20 to 24. That's 77.1%. So you guys are probably asking, what is off?
So stop that for a second. So nearly half, 42.2% of black women have their children between 2015 to 2019 have had their children under the age of 20. Then you get from 20 to 24 years old and another 30. Let's just get back that little statistic there. There we go. You're looking at, sorry. That's what I want. No, not that one. That one. There you go. There we go. So you're talking about 34.9% of black women between 2015 and 2019 had their children between their first child between the ages of 20 and 24. So you're looking at 71.9% of black women have had their first child, before the age of 24. Where else in the Western world is that true? Nowhere. So already black women are putting themselves at a disadvantage right away. They're having their children so young. And Typical Skai Jackson. Well, how old is Skai Jackson? She's 22 right now. So it's high time she had a child. To Pookie and Ray Ray. Make that make sense. You can't make this stuff up. That's why black women, unfortunately, a lot of black women, I wouldn't say majority, I would say a lot of black women. Well, let me say this. If you're talking 71.9% of black women have had their child, the majority of them have had their child by the age of 24, it's the majority. The majority of black women have already scuppered themselves in the dating market. Because no man wants to take on another man's child. But yet, black men are forced and shamed into dating these women. Now, if they're bringing nothing to the table, fine. But they're being forced to date these women. And that, for the life of me, makes absolutely no sense. But this is our best, right? This is the best that we can do for our black men, who are confident, intelligent, assertive, and who are trying to make their way into the world. The best that we can give them is a baby mama. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live, ladies and gentlemen.
Black women age at first child's birth under the age of 20 to 20 to 24. That's 77.1%. So you guys are probably asking, what is
77.1, sorry.
That means that when black women get married at age 32, which is the average first marriage, chances are they already have kids. The majority of black women already have kids.
That is our affliction, ladies and gentlemen. That is our cross to bear. The majority of black women have already had their children by the age of 32 of first marriage. That doesn't happen anywhere in the world. Not to say it's a. Is this what's best for us? Now, I understand if you are already a part of a marriage and have had your children within that marriage. All well and good. But a lot of these women, the majority of these women, it's already been seen by the statistics that the majority of these women have had their children out of wedlock. Chances are to a Pookie and a Ray Ray. This is the best we can give to our black men who have done the work and done the knowledge. We have to give them a baby mama? A sad, sad, sad state of affairs. Let's just see if there's any other comments out here on the Ubiest of Tubiest. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are good to go here. So let us continue with this, because this is the negative paradox that black women indeed face. They wonder why they're the least married and most divorced. All you got to do is see the pregnancy statistics. That's all you got to see. There's your answer. And you wonder why black women aren't getting chosen. Because by the time you hit 32, you've already had a kid. Please comment down below on this subject. Skai Jackson is emblematic how black women may be cursed in the dating market. There are the statistics right there.
So when people ask questions like, well, why are the marriage rates so low in the black community? It's because of the fact that our black women have already given birth to somebody's kid. That's one of the reasons. We're not done. I got the black men statistics as well. So when we have these conversations about all these black men running rampant, it's a shock to people that a lot of men in particular aren't having sex like that. and when you think about it, it's like, man, well, how can that be? Well, how are all these women having all these kids? Because there's a select few of men that are having sex with the majority of women, especially in the black community. So this is...
And they tend to be 6 feet, and they tend to be 6 inches or more. They don't necessarily have the 6 figures. Lord knows they're choosing Pookies and Ray Rays, and Pookies and Ray Rays either, well, okay, semi-successful criminal types. Take your pick as to those. and or have six packs. So you think 6 inches or more, 6-pack, and 6 feet tall. There's your man. There's your atypical men that are having most of these kids with these, most of these children with these mothers. They tend to be 6 feet. They tend to have 6 inches or more. They tend to have the street cred. They tend to be in shape. So that is a minority of men because, again, only 15% of the population of any race are 6 feet or taller. 15%. So guess who's getting all of black women's business? You guessed it. What I just named. Let's continue. So that leaves a minority of men in which to choose from.
This is how you quantify these talking points on YouTube. Age at first child's birth for men, age 15 to 49, black or African American, single race, black men under the age of 20 between 2015 to 2019, 14.1%. 14.1%. So, if young black women under 20...
Let me repeat that quote for you. Because remember what I just said. 15% of black men are 6 feet or taller, right? Remember that? Let's continue.
Black men under the age of 20 between 2015 to 2019, 14.1%. 14.1%. So, if young black women under 20...
So, let's do the math here. If 14.1% of black men 20 and under are having children, they tend to be, well, they can't be 6 figures, really. That eliminates that category. So the only thing they have available to them are they may be, well, their anatomy may be somewhat well endowed, but guaranteed they are of a certain height. 5'10" or above, let's call it. But definitely 6 feet. You getting the difference here? Let's continue with this because he ain't done. He ain't done. He ain't done. Continue. Watch.
42% are having children, but only 14.1% of black men are having children under the age of 20 or fathering children. Where's the problem? Okay. I think we get it now. I understand it now. The youngest out of all racial demographics. Okay? So Skai Jackson's situation is actually on code.
Yeah.
Because they rarely get out unscathed.
And some of y'all fall victim to that too. Y'all baby daddy these men that are just supposed to be for a good time, a good jolly old time. You're not supposed to marry a scammer. You're not supposed to have a baby with a scammer. They have good, you feel me? Wait, but don't settle down with them. Them not the men that you settle down with. We just all seeing a canon event that a lot of us go through Skai Jackson. We didn't.
So, and now I got to stop it right there. She said, don't settle down with those guys. And that's where I tell you guys in the chat that watch my show, the respectable black men do not save them. Every time a woman says that she's tired of dating, or I'm done dating these types of scammer dudes, these, hood dudes. Now I'm looking for my Russell Wilson. I'm looking for a nice guy to settle down with. Do not save them. Because smart women, they don't choose those types of men in the first place. So they're banking on you guys to be a landing space. They want you to be the cleanup man after they done got all this damn trauma, possibly a kid, and all kinds of other foolery, maybe some diseases, and they want you to save them. Don't do it.
Cannot.
I will go one further with that. And he's absolutely right. Well done to Media Man. You shouldn't save him. But let's say you do save them. They have to bring something back to you in return, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say you do indeed fall in love with one of these ladies. One thing for sure that you must do, that they must do, black women in particular, I'm talking about here, they must bring something back to you. And I'll tell you what they have to bring back in just a moment. We're going to go into hour 2 of what indeed black women must bring back to you. So stay tuned here on IG. We're going to just take a break. As you can see, IG has, given the black women a break for a second. And we're going back to part 2. And I'll tell you what black women need to do if indeed they do have children, because the majority of them do, because they think that's their best. Come on back and we'll find out in just a second. Be back soon. We are back live here on Talk Live for hour 2, ladies and gentlemen, for hour 2. Now, this is not going to be going too long, but I just want to, hello, we are back live here on Talk Live here on IG, still here on YouTube, and we are back live here, and we're going to be discussing why, indeed, Skai Jackson is indeed emblematic, is indeed the portender, the predictor of why black women are cursed in the dating market. And it's simply because of this, because black women have children at a young age to men who are of a certain height, who tend to be of a hood nature, and that leads them to a world of trouble, especially if it is believed, if this black woman is raised in a life of affluence, as has been seen with Skai Jackson, because Skai Jackson was a Disney kid. She was a part of the Disney Channel for many years. Unfortunately, she's fallen on hard times and got herself into some credit card fraud, and we are now left to pick up the pieces of her career. But then again, she left those pieces in the hands of a generational, I wouldn't say a generational, of a scammer and a hood rat to whom has a certain amount of height, to which these women have fallen in love with, because it's all about the feels and not the reals. And nowhere else can that be seen in any other race than the westernized black woman. There you go. I wouldn't say that of African women, because at least they know better. If they know that you're hood, they would not even associate with you. But it seems there's something to be said with the westernized black woman. But anyways, let's say you do. Let's go into the part 2 of this question. Let's say you do tend to have an affiliation and build a relationship with these women. She was one of these women who had one child, two child, maybe 3 children. One thing's for sure, let me say this. These women must be bringing something to your life. Let's say you do get involved with one. They must be bringing something to your life. They must be of a certain fitness standard, friendly standard, femininity standard, but most importantly, they must be cooperative and submissive. If you're not getting any of that, don't save them. Don't save them. Do not save these women. If they're bringing you attitude, if they're bringing you drama, if they're bringing you baby daddy issues, don't save them. Their life must be so set that when you enter into it, it's like, it's as if nothing happened. Nothing actually completely happened. Those children must be in check with their baby father. That baby father cannot be admitting any sort of drama. If he for a second does, get out of there. Get out. Don't stay, get out. And if indeed they are not cooperative and submissive, and if they don't have any assets going for them in life, If they're not going anywhere in life, period, guess what? Get out of there. Don't save her. Don't save her. If it's a Skai Jackson whose career is falling down the drain, don't save her. If she's managing to get by in life and she sees you as a cleanup guy and a savior, don't save her. Anything else that falls beyond that, it's on you. It's literally on you. And don't save her. That is if you get involved with these women, because some women are great. Let me say this, but they have to be vetted. They have to be so very, very vetted. You have got to be turning over every stone, every rock, every bit of their life in order for you to understand if indeed this is the woman for you for a lifetime, for you to invest in her. And literally, she must be cooperative or submissive, or else it's not even worth the trouble. It's not even worth it. Stay out of it. You've built your life to a certain level, and quite simply, you don't need the drama. You do not need the drama. She must be drama-free. If you ever get involved with these women, if you see a hint of trouble, if she's not bringing you what you need in your life, gentlemen, you have worked too hard to get involved in such a absolute calamitous milieu in life. Get out of there. And don't look back twice. There are way more other women. There are way more other races at your disposal, gentlemen. Black men are in demand. Especially black men who have put themselves together to a certain standard are in huge demand. Don't fall for that. Don't. And if you find a woman as such, she must be fit. Again, let me repeat it one more time. She must be fit. She must be friendly. She must be feminine. She must be cooperative. And she definitely must be submissive. If she is not cooperative or submissive, get out of there. Get out. Don't stay. Don't stay. Do not stay. Let's continue with this, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Mike Singletary. What do you got to say, Mike? Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get into it. Mike, what you got to say?
Play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Let them live with their mistakes until this becomes a pattern and our women in the future start to learn. You're going to have to pick right first. Because the men today are not those old, dudes where you just look past everything and you like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to just go ahead and settle down with this woman even though she got 2 kids by Pookie and Ray Ray. These new dudes I'm actually proud of because y'all are literally standing on business. And I like the fact that you guys are putting your, foot in the sand, even with everybody else critiquing you, saying that you should be dating single mothers if you don't have kids. Y'all have not wavered, not once. And I like to see it because this is how you make change in the black community. This is how you teach our women, stop picking those dudes first because you're not going to be able to land with the good guy over here or a good man. Okay?
Excellent point raised there by Medium Man. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. The younger generation are standing on business. The younger generation are realizing that these women in our black community, these 77.1% of black women who are pregnant and have their first child by the age of 24 are a plight on our community. And this must be changed. It must be changed. There are certain women who deserve to be saved, but only if, indeed, they're fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, and submissive. They must live by that credo. And I mean live by it. If they're not that, don't save them. If they're not willing to get in shape, don't save them. If they're not willing to be friendly, don't save them. If they're not willing to be feminine, don't save them. If they're definitely not willing to be uncooperative, don't save them. If they're definitely not willing to be submissive, don't save them. Because they don't want to be saved. They don't want it. They don't want it bad enough. They don't. They do not want it bad enough. Let them go on their way. Let them be. Let them be. That is my amendment to what my I would say my amendment. That is my fine print on what Media Man had to say right there. But absolutely, if you do not find any of those things in these women, do not say them. Go and find your own, even if it is outside of your race. Do not say them. You've worked too hard. You've gone through so many hurdles as black men, period, or any race, period, to be involved in that sort of drama. Don't save them. Let's continue.
And I hope black women are watching this because y'all supposed to be correcting this foolery. This is a young woman. Where'd she get that mindset from? Where the hell y'all at? Why don't y'all go to her page and tell her, why are you putting out this message? And every woman in the comment section is agreeing with her. That's y'all fault because you're not teaching these young women. Now it's up to men like me to get involved to basically tell men, don't save these types of women because they're doing it on purpose. And I wish Dr. Umar would see these types of videos because he's under the impression that every black.
Let us read these this little caption here from Media Man. Thank you very much to Media Man. Like, subscribe to Media Man. I keep saying this, doing wonderful things in YouTube streets, and he deserves way more followers than he already has. Subscription that he always has. Do you know that the lifetime do you know that the lifetime likelihood of imprisonment for black men has fallen from a staggering 1.3% born in 1981 to 1 in 5 for black men born in 2001? It's true. The number of imprisoned black Americans decreased 39% since its peak in 2002. The lifetime risk of imprisonment for black men has decreased by 48% in the year 2000. Thank goodness we're getting our stuff together because the likes of Dr. Umar Johnson thinks we're all broke, dead, and in jail, and not worth much. But that's how he thrives in his own respect. That's how he thrives. That is how he indeed thrives, ladies and gentlemen. And that is something that we need to eradicate in this community. We have to stay out of jail, but remember, 97% of black men are out of jail. 97%. Dr. Umar doesn't mention that, and that's why I don't subscribe to Dr. Umar Johnson. 97%. And that number is rising rapidly. We're getting the message. We're staying out of jail. We're being the leaders in our community once again. Thank goodness. From the degradation we had in the likes of 1981 and 2001. Or should I say, in those years, 1981 to 2001, the crack era. The crack era. Let's continue with this. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG YouTube. Please comment below on your feelings on the subject. Let's continue.
Black men in the black community got a police record or something like that. And black women are just forced to pick those types of guys. They're absolutely not. They're doing it willingly. And they're trying to cheat the system by saying, I'm going to try and get out unscathed and not have a kid and not settle down with this guy. And then I'm going to land with one of these good men. No.
We want that for our Disney. We didn't want that for Miss Disney, okay? We wanted her to feel me, be the classy, bougie person that we all thought she was in our head. She did not live up to that. But you feel me? I'm not mad at you, girl. I'm just a little bit disappointed. Players fuck up too, though.
I just wanted to show, especially the young men, that because they're going to be looking for you. Women like this, they're going to be looking for you after they get done messing with Pook and Nug in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and we know these types of guys exist. And like I said, I'm all for protecting the black male ethnic image. But at some point, we got to start calling this foolery out. Every black man is not for protecting the black male ethnic image. Mm-hmm. And I'm 100% okay with separating myself from those types of men who can't be saved. But the funny thing is, they don't even have to be saved because they still get the same privileges as the good men with our women. And that's the problem. So me saying that, it's a class of black men that are Pookie and Ray Ray, they don't care because they still get access to black women's womb. So what am I going to do? Nothing, because it's not up to me. It's not up to me.
Indeed, it's not up to you, Media Man. Well said. It's not up to him. If you have to go to another race to find a better type of woman, do it. They're black babies anyway. And so many of us are doing that. It's a black woman's affliction that she is pregnant. Chances are she's pregnant by the age of 24. It is a problem. 77% of black women have their children by the age of 24 in the United States, emblematic of the rest of the Western world, and that is an issue. That is an affliction that they need to get themselves out of. They need to start making better choices for themselves. But don't be fooled. Do not feel that this is the best that you can do if you want to die with a black woman. And it's showing up every single day, especially in in NFL drafts. Yes. But we won't go there. We won't go there. That's another issue altogether with that we'll handle on another Talk Live. But again, it's terrible. It's terrible. And until black women pull themselves out of it, because this is a choice. This is why black women have doomed themselves in the dating market, because they're like the Skai Jackson of the world. Get affiliated with hood Negroes, have kids with them, and then ask for black men to come out. The good ones come out. The ones they call it corny come out and save them at the end of the day. And if you're smart enough, and if you're not adhering to those standards, if you have such a woman, where she must be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, do not save them. Even if you have to go outside of your race, do not save them. They need to learn the hard way. They need to know that their choices have consequences. Let's continue. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live, live on IG and YouTube. Comment down below. I want to hear what you have to say. Oh, it went wrong there. I don't know why.
Tell black women to stop messing with these guys until they change. If they don't get access, right? Then they got to change something. They got to become better. But until then, they're gonna keep fucking the shit out of black women, getting them pregnant. And now, and then all black men are the problem. Black men got to stop having all these kids with these women.
Yep, absolutely.
How about you tell those women stop giving those types of men access? Dumbasses. It's just like this picture. I know y'all seen this picture from Alex L. Art running around. It's the same thing. The same exact thing. Don't worry, baby. He's just a nerd. Why do they always pick the thugs? Years later, she pregnant. Hey, baby, remember me? He's like, beat it, chick. Why can't I find a good man? And that's when all black men get blamed. It's always Jermaine's fault, right? If these women don't learn how to...
Go back to that little caption there.
Can I find a good man?
Stop that right there. That, in and of itself, is the Western world black experience. Right there. In that one caption is the Western world black experience. We couldn't encapsulate it well enough. They go for the street cred, the hood Negroes when they're younger, black women, but when they get older, they want the ones they call corny and nerds to come clean up the issue. And I'm telling you, unless she has something going for herself, unless she's fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, don't save them. Let them live with their choices. Sooner rather than later, these women will start dying out. they will start dying out, realizing there's no one coming to save them. At least the majority of them. And that, my friends, is the black experience in one cartoon. Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's continue.
When all black men get blamed, it's always Jermaine's fault, right? If these women don't learn how to choose right first, then she is not an option. And don't feel bad about that, okay? Because they're going to learn one way or another. I can't affect what they do on a larger scale, but I can point the message to the black men, the young black men, and the older black men who watch my channel. Don't do it. Leave them women alone.
Yep.
Let them live with their stupid decisions and stupid choices to procreate with those guys, but you're not going to blame the black men over here. It's not going to happen.
I think the most interesting thing about Skai Jackson and her baby daddy is the fact that girls like her typically fetishize guys like him, you know, YNs, hood niggas, and they really get a kick out of their contrast. Like the general public's confusion of how the two of them could even cross paths, or the fact that she would even be attracted to him. And they think it makes them look edgy and rebellious, when in all actuality it makes them look like idiots, because realistically a woman like Skai Jackson dating a literal degenerate could only bring her down. There is absolutely no benefit to that. The only person that's benefiting is the degenerate, because then he gains access to your resources, which he will exploit because he doesn't appreciate them. Because YNs and hood niggas subconsciously know that y'all fetishize them. So they play along and get what they want, while you sit around thinking you're the best thing that's ever happened to him in his life, because you have a superiority complex and you believe that you're a better option than the women in the hood. And what you're offering him is something that he would have never been able to get without you. But in all actuality, damn near every woman in his life has spoiled him, took care of him, or brought him new experiences. Like, girl, you're not special. And that's why y'all always end up getting dogged out, because you have this flawed perception of what you're supposed to mean to him, because you don't think he's smart enough to know that you just like him because of his aesthetic and not who he truly is. So you end up being a baby mama just like any other girl would have. And you're probably going to continue to pedestalize yourself because, oh, I was better than him. But that's another thing that I think comes with this fetish that y'all have for YNs and hood niggas. Believing that you could do all of these things for a man who you think ain't never had nothing done for him and gain devotion from him. Y'all do not even know or relate to or even understand these men that y'all fetishize. It's so funny to me.
Stop.
This is more proof, man. And
Yeah.
I'm going
to stop that right there. Yeah. I mean, she couldn't have better. Excellent deduction of young black females in the Western world. The majority of them. They think that these hood Negroes, and especially those who have grown up with a certain amount of in terms of having a good life in their lifetime. And I've seen it myself. I've seen it in my own lifetime. I ain't going to tell you where, but I've seen it in my own lifetime. And ladies and gentlemen, it is the truth. When women are of a certain age, they fetishize, they fall in love with these men of dread, these hood Negroes of a certain height, of a certain amount of street cred, with a certain amount of, well, endowment, and they think that they can bring them a better life. So, but the problem is, indeed, these hood Negroes see this as a way out, and since it came so easily to them, they don't appreciate it, to a point where they mistreat these women. They mistreat them badly. Now, when men are like this, they can either pull out of it and do better for themselves, even though the die is cast, or indeed these women will suffer misery and embarrassment and simply be a victim of their own choices. Bad choices, where the feels are stronger than the reals. That's what we have right now. So let me go back to my full cam here. Thank you very much to Media Man for breaking it down, because this is the black female paradox altogether, and this is what dooms them in the dating market. They come to the dating market already with child. Let me put it on the big cam here. They come to the dating market already with child, and they are victims. They're asking the men who they consider corny to save them because the hood Negroes have done their business with them, and they consider all men to be bad simply because of the choices that they made. No, most black men aren't bad. You just happen to go out and choose a bad one. You just happen to choose a bad one, as did Skai Jackson, and guess what? She ended up pregnant. And guess what? She's in credit card fraud. And guess what? That man tends to be of a criminal element. And what, perchance, does this woman, Skai Jackson, will be in future? A better criminal, because she knows one. You don't think that credit card fraud is out of osmosis? No, she learned it from someone. Guess who? You seeing the links here? Are you connecting the dots here? I hope you are. I really hope you are. But this is the black female paradox. This is the black female. This is why black women are doomed to fail in the dating market. Where most of them are doomed to fail in the dating market, because you saw the statistics. They come to the dating market by the time they hit 24 with a child. What men of any race are willing to take on a woman with a child? Not many, if any. So this affliction must die on its own, and black men cannot be there to save them. Don't save her. She does not want to be saved, as the song goes. Don't save her. She does not want to be saved. She likes being here. She made the choice to be here. And unless the woman is fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and of the utmost in that sense, don't save them. They must learn the lesson of many a woman, of our race, and of our westernized society. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We're going to end it right there. It was another serious topic today, but again, it is the paradox of black women, as you saw in that cartoon just said. Black women need to do better. Simple as that. That goes without saying. But black men, don't be there to save them unless they are totally devoted and seeing you as their number one and totally willing to be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, and submissive for you. If they don't fall in any of those categories, leave them. Let their baby daddy deal with them. Let them deal with them. Because if that's how you choose to go into the dating market, then you deserve what you get. Simple as that. We're going to end it here. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We'll be back live tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, for our third show this week. And then I'll be taking off for the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And you'll see, and I am imploring myself to get some shorts out for you. I've already prepared some, so I will be getting it out this week. No doubt about that. But thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live in this journey of Skai Jackson and how it is indeed emblematic of the modern black woman. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow night on IG and YouTube. And good night on IG from Toronto. And I say good night to you on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We will see you on Thursday night with another show.